What did you see, Richard, in Game 2 that you think is sustainable here heading into Wednesday night?
Well, what's sustainable is just the Miami Heat continuing that intensity. To me, that's what we've seen. Malika, you just gave all of those stats. When you look at the three-point shooting in the Miami Heat, everyone said, oh, can't keep doing it against the Bucks. Oh, they can't keep doing it against Boston. Oh, well, they're not going to continue doing it. This is who they are. This is what they do. And I think the biggest lesson here for me is that the Denver Nuggets, you can either learn from other people's mistakes or you can make the same mistakes. And the Miami Heat continue to wear teams down because that's who they are. They are the one team that has proven to us that they can play 48 minutes of basketball at a high level. Everybody else, if you play 36, if you play 42, if you play 44, you are going to have a problem. And you see these numbers when trailing by 8+, entering into the fourth. The Heat are 4-5. They're almost playing 500 basketball, being down by double digits. The rest of the NBA, you see those numbers. They are different. They play different, and they play for the entire time. Denver, you can't put together an A- performance against them because it won't get it done.
You know the great thing about being in this seat and being on this show? Y'all say it with me. Y'all say it with me.
What?
Stay petty, so we what?
You don't have to get petty.
And look, that's not just to us. That goes to our producers as well. And the great thing about it is that I can switch up in a minute. So the clips that I had, that they spend their special time on cutting and editing, I don't need them because I switched it up. Here's the thing. This is the thing that is most sustainable when it comes to the Miami Heat. They actually got hoopers. And I'm so sick and tired of everybody talking about, oh, they're the less talented team. Denver has more talent. Do they really have more talent? Or they just don't have the household names? Well, they have them now. When you look at a guy like Gabe Vincent, who has tore it up in every single series, he's been balling out of control. I love the pick and roll action that him and Bam has established because so much attention has been on Jimmy Butler. Bam is going to get those pocket passes all night long because of the offense that they're running, especially against Jokic, involving him in multiple actions. So I just want to counsel that the Miami Heat are the less talented team because we continue to see guys step up. We continue to see guys show what they're capable of doing at the highest level. They have hoopers.
So those are some of our thoughts. I do, though, gentlemen, want to hear from Michael Malone and Erik Spoelstra on what they are looking for heading into this Game 3. Take a listen.
You know the term when you say your head has to be on a swivel? That's what it has to be. Your head almost has to be able to turn 360 degrees at all times on the weak side, and you can't physically do that, obviously. That level of discipline and focus is the highest level. He can score 41 against us, and he scored 50+, in another playoff game. So you're in the finals. You're going to be dealing with great players, great teams. You have to find a way to overcome it and make it difficult and do a lot of things that are tough.
We want to play fast. They want to play slow. And when you're not getting stops, the advantage Miami Heat because now they have their 2-2-1 press back to the zone. And as I mentioned before, we're playing way too slow to try to attack that, which is forcing a lot of late clock situations for us. But we got a lot of guys that have been in big games, playoff tested, so I don't think any of it is that guys getting tight. I think it's just not adhering to the discipline that the game needs.
All right, so those are some of Michael Malone's thoughts on what needs to change, what adjustments need to be made going into this Game 3. But, Rich, what do you think?
No, I completely agree. And there's been so much conversation about the zone. And, look, we have the zone numbers here in front of us, thanks to our guy Schwartz. Stay true over there, big guy. Look, when you look at the offensive efficiency in zone, they actually score 121 points in the zone. They don't, without the zone, or with no zone, they give up 116. So they actually score more points against the zone, especially against those non-Jokic minutes that they had in Game 2. But this is the key. You heard Mike Malone say this. He says the pace slows down. The average time per possession when the Heat run zone is 19.9 seconds. That's the average time of offensive possession. When they don't, you see that. It's a faster game. No zone, it's 17 seconds. So every single time the Miami Heat run a zone, the game slows down. they take 20 seconds off the clock. When they don't run a zone, it's 17 seconds. Now, if you're a team that wants it slow, you might say, oh, what's 2-3 seconds here and there? At the end of the day, when you multiply that over 10 possessions, 20 possessions, 30 possessions, now all of a sudden the game slows down to a halt, and that favors Miami Heat. It does not favor Denver. Denver's got to push the pace on makes, on misses. No matter what, they've got to continue to push the pace, and that's what I've been seeing. And so we're going to see which one is going to happen in this next game.
Well, with me, it's about whether Mike Malone is going to, far as his personnel, right? I'm looking at Aaron Gordon, and I'm saying he had 12 points last game, 5 for 7 from the field. You take away his cutting, all of a sudden, can you have him on the floor? But that's the guy right there, Bruce Brown. He has been the unsung hero for the Denver Nuggets this entire postseason. Arguably the best off-the-bench player that in this postseason. He's been productive on both ends of the floor. He gives them life. He gives them tenacity. And now he's knocking down the three at a high clip. So if the Miami Heat are going to take away what Aaron Gordon does best, that's ducking in, that's cutting, that's feeding off of Jokic, and make him make shots, then I'm wondering if Mike Malone, late in the fourth, when things get tight, is he going to roll with Aaron Gordon or Bruce Brown? My guess is that he got to roll with Bruce Brown.
He's a two-way basketball player, and he does so many winning things that I think, unfortunately, when you view maybe a 56-point game, everybody on the outside views that he has to do that every game to impact winning. He understands the levers that contribute to winning. And the way they defend, they're prioritizing protecting the paint against him. So he has to make the right reads. And then down the stretch, those were his best moments. And that's really key for us.
I think I've done great. I think I've done what I've needed to do to get us to 1-1. I hope it was 2-0 in our favor. It is not. I don't pay attention to stats. Not going to lie. I've said that all along. As long as we win, everybody's playing great. Just because I score a lot of points one game, it doesn't make you a scorer. I'm not a volume shooter. I don't do any of that. I don't press to score. I only press to win. So if I pass the ball every possession, if we win, I don't care. If I shoot the ball every possession and we win, I don't care. This playoff Jimmy narrative is not a thing. I just want to win along with everybody else. So I don't worry about too much other things except for winning.
The man, the myth, the podcast legend, Zach Lowe is joining us now. And Zach, we've heard Jimmy Butler say that, you know what, I didn't feel like I was deferring too much in game one or game two. He feels like he was in the exact right place at the exact right time. But what more do you think the Heat need from him if they want to keep this going here?
I thought game two was pretty close to what they need from him to win. He bullied Jamal Murray a little bit more, and he's going to have that matchup sometimes if he's guarding Jamal Murray on the other end. He bullied Kentavious Caldwell-Pope a little bit on switches. They'll probably need a little bit more of that kind of Jimmy as the series goes on, but I thought his passing was awesome in game two. He understood that the Nuggets were going to drop back on the pick and roll against him, give him an alleyway into the paint, and he said, you know what? I'm just going to take it. I'm going to dribble. I'm going to prod. I'm going to get to the basket. You're going to send help inside because you can't leave Bam for an alley-oop dunk. And they got some kick-out threes off of that. I thought he read the game pretty well, defended his butt off against Jamal Murray. At some point in this series, to get 4 wins, one of those wins is going to have to be a bigger scoring game from Jimmy, I think. But I thought he was great in game two.
You know what that makes me think of, Zach? It makes me think of Richard Jefferson's recipe for success because you need a game. What is the recipe, Richard? You need one game from your star?
You need no. You need 2 games from your stars, 1 game for your others, and 1 game that you're not supposed to win. Mike Malone said it. If they would have won that game 2, he would have said, if we would have won this game and Jamal Murray's shot would have gone in, we didn't deserve to win this game. You always need one of those games in the finals. Unfortunately, Miami Heat have been winning those types of games because of their fourth quarter comebacks all year long.
But the question is...
So what do you think that Jimmy needs to do? Right, yeah. Go
Hold
ahead,
on,
Perk.
I didn't know it paused for 10 seconds. I thought it
No,
was
man,
time
y'all
for
are
me
in
to
LA.
chime
Perk's in the
in.
driver's seat today.
Nah, I thought it
Go
was
ahead,
time for
Perk.
me to chime in. It paused for 10 seconds.
It is.
I just want to know who are the stars on the Miami Heat. We know about Jimmy Butler, but like I said, the Eastern Conference Finals MVP could have went to Caleb Martin, and some say that it should have went to him. Like, he shined that bright. So when I think about Jimmy, he's not going to have one of those moments where he have to go out there and drop one of those 40-piece flats, air dried. He's not going to have to do that this series. He just have to continue to play within the system and trust his teammates. If you notice, the way that they pass the ball, the way that he passed the ball to his teammates is passed with energy. And when they catch it with energy, they're going to finish it with energy. That means made threes, made layups. So I'm liking this version of Jimmy because I believe in the postseason, Jimmy Butler has graduated in the same conversation with some of the most elite players across the league, meaning that he could take off the first, second, and third quarter and then take over the fourth. So him going out there and having a 40-piece, no, I don't think they have to, especially against this Denver Nuggets team.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.